Here's what's coming up on the show.
So we sort of put it out and said, look, we're having a party. We're renting a house. We're looking for, up to 4 or 5 couples. And then I was looking for between 8 and 10 Black gentlemen to join us. We wanted it to be something that was really us, and doing it in Vegas at this house with everybody standing around us naked watching, that was really us and who we are now. But yeah, we stood and Craig McKinney officiated for us, and all 3 of the other cuck husbands come up to me and give me a huge hug and just like tears in their eyes. Thank you so much for this. Like 48 hours of being my true self, living out my cuck life with my wife by my side, watching her be so happy, so relaxed, and so free.
This is the Venus Cuckoldress Podcast, a place to learn all things cuckolding for the curious, for the passionate, and for the sexually empowered woman who wants it all.
Let's go.
Welcome to the show, everyone. I'm your host, Venus, and finally I'm feeling better. I was sick as fuck in the last little bit, but I'm finally on the mend. I went to Las Vegas a little while ago, and when I came back, I got sick right away afterwards, and man, it was fucking brutal, but I'm back. And today's show is a recap of that trip. It was amazing. It was so incredible. Doc Chocolate has this interview on his show as well. We recorded it together as a group, and it was a ton of fun. So you're going to find out today what happened on that amazing trip that was a wedding vow renewal ceremony, Queen of Spades style, nudist style. Yes, I'm telling you the truth. It was wild and so fun. So joining me on the show today is my co-host, Doc Chocolate. And we're going to be talking to a few people. We've got Blonde on the Bay and her husband. He goes by at OG Cuckbend on Twitter, and she's at Blonde on the Bay on Twitter. And we're talking with Fun Charlie. She's a kinky cougar, and she goes by at Fun Charlie 420 on Twitter. All of those handles will be in the show notes for today, but we're going to recap what that amazing weekend was like, and it was fucking incredible. Okay. We do also talk about the fact that I did bring one of my helpful cuck supporters, Grunky, on the trip with me. We stayed at the Venetian. It was beautiful. We had such a wonderful weekend together, and I cucked the shit out of him, among other things. And it was so much fun. So anyway, if you want to hear what that was like, the full story of him recanting that weekend, what that was like for him, then you can check it out on the private podcast on venuscuckoldress.com. If you subscribe to the private podcast, it's in all 3 of the supporter tiers. And you can just click on the Queen's Quarters tab when you go to venuscuckoldress.com. Or if you subscribe to Apple Podcast subscriptions, it's on there too. So if you want to hear that, it's almost an hour long. It is such an awesome episode. He talks all about what happened. Actually, you know what? Here is a fun little clip of that show.
And there was this one point in time, Venus was on her back, legs spread open. Doc was like going to town, and you could see her like toes twitch, and she was like, ah, and her toes were like all over the place. And I was like, okay, that was real. And I was just like, yes. So yeah. And then Venus, like, they changed positions, and then Venus was like, Cucky, get over here. And I was like, okay. And so I walked over there, and I got a front row seat on my knees while Doc was just pounding Venus. And I was like, this is what being a cuckold is all about. It's about the compersion, about the care for your partner, and it's about her enjoying herself with a guy who can really take care of her. So amen to that. I was like, this is this is my purpose fulfilled. I can die a happy man.
So there it is, a fun little teaser with Grunky. And if you want to subscribe to the private podcast, the link is in the show notes for today. Now, coming up for events, there are a couple of awesome events happening soon. So they are Pillow Talk events live. They're live on Crowdcast. And the first one is with Mr. Blaze. That's Brooke Blaze's husband. He is going to be on the show on Pillow Talk live on Crowdcast. That's August 20th at 12 p.m. Pacific. That's 3 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to register for that, you can watch it live for free. And that is if you just go to venuscuckoldress.com, click on the events page. The second Pillow Talk in September is going to be September 20th, and that is going to be with today's group, the group that I am interviewing and chatting with in today's episode. So we've got Blonde on the Bay and her husband, Doc Chocolate, and Fun Charlie joining me for that episode. That's going to be a live Pillow Talk event on Crowdcast. If you want to join that, go to the events page on venuscuckoldress.com. That's it for events. Let's jump into the show right after this quick break. Whether you're happy or unhappy with your performance in the bedroom, why not perform even better? Joy Mode Sexual Performance Booster is like a pre-workout, but for sex. It's designed to support erection quality, firmness, and sex drive. It contains clinically supported doses of arginine nitrate, L-citrulline, Panax ginseng, and vitamin C. Not only is this the only supplement you'll need in the bedroom, but it supports blood vessel support, cardiovascular and heart health, athletic performance, blood pressure, and general erectile function. It comes in a palm-sized packet like your favorite electrolyte powder. Simply mix it with 6 to 8 ounces of water and 45 minutes before sexual activity and watch the magic happen. Here are the game changers. Listen to this. All ingredients have been assessed in peer-reviewed journals. That's important. And all ingredients have been studied and researched in humans. Redefine your intimacy and go to usejoymode.com for 20% off with the code Venus. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code Venus at usejoymode.com.
Today, we're going to talk about Blonde on the Bay, aka Wendy and Judd's journey in the lifestyle. So they met 30 years ago, is it?
31 years ago.
31 and a half years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
We had a blind date, the two of us.
Dates.
What in the blind date?
Well, yeah, we knew somebody.
And I took one look at him and I went home that night and I told my mom, I said, I met this most incredible guy. And we were engaged 4 months later.
That is awesome.
I love those stories.
Yeah.
Like when you guys first met, I'm assuming that you guys were more vanilla / traditional in your relationship.
18 years. Yeah. We were
Totally monogamous.
Yeah.
We've only been lifestyle for the last 10. So for the first 20 years of our marriage, we were completely monogamous and vanilla. Like I didn't even know any of this existed. He did, because he's a perv.
Oh, wow. He did.
I love it.
Okay.
Awesome.
And so, tell us, what is the genesis of y'all jumping into, the cuckolding lifestyle? So you guys are, this handsome and pretty couple living in Canada, probably by a bay. And, what happened?
So after being married for 18 years, everything was the two of us. Something happened at a small party in our little town. And
one of the husbands in the friend group started texting me.
Managed to get Wendy's number.
Started texting me, and I was flattered. I mean, oh my gosh,
after 18 years.
Somebody else thinks I'm attractive. I was blown away, and I was like, yeah, I was super flattered, and I was under the sheets at night texting him, and
until he caught
me. And I didn't do anything bad. I didn't cheat. Nothing like that. I was just, sexting with somebody.
Under the sheets?
Yeah, he said, well, if you want to do this, we can do it together. And it still took him 2 years to convince me.
2 years later, she finally was okay to go to a small party, and she had parties with extra men being brought in for the ladies, a greedy girl party. So it was, what did you dress up as? You dressed up
it was
as
a naughty schoolgirl.
Naughty schoolgirl.
So it was fun. I was sure, like, I'm like, okay, fine, we'll go to this party. Nobody's gonna want me because I was like 42 back then, or 43, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm old. Nobody's gonna be interested at all. And we got there, and I was wrong. Yeah,
it was a fun night.
It was a fun night, but I did. I mean, oh my gosh! I finally made it into a room with Judd and another gentleman. First, I asked him to double bag, which of course didn't go very well. So, okay, take one off, and I just lay there on the bed with my hands over my eyes, and I'm like, just do it, because it's the first cock I'd had that wasn't his in like 20 years.
This tiny little room, but yet it still had a little chair right beside the bed.
Still had a cuck chair.
So not even knowing what it was at the time.
He sat there, and I cucked him for the first time.
Not even knowing what it was. It just...
No. And then it was just like,
when can I go back?
Oh my God.
When's the next party? When can we go back?
Yeah. And it came down to going in downtown Vancouver, picking up guys, driving around Stanley Park, having sex in the back while he was driving. And yeah,
you got a little under control.
I really jumped in with both feet.
I love that.
You know what's funny is that, like, I might have been at that same party. Because I've been to the greedy girl parties, and it's so funny. I'm right around that same time frame too. So there's a possibility that I was
paths have crossed.
It would have been September 2014 was the first party. And
yes, it would have been right around there.
She had good parties there. It was a great place.
Great parties, absolutely. And I enjoyed those events. For those of you guys listening, those are like they're kind of like gangbang parties, but not necessarily gangbangs, but greedy girls, because there's like lots of guys and fewer women. And but yeah, those were some of the first parties that I went to that were skewed like that weren't like the swingers parties or know. And so, but I do remember it was at that time, I think I did bring a black guy with me, and we were having sex, and like she had a big orgy room, like it was big, right? Yeah. And I just remember looking up and looking around, and I was like, damn, there's a lot of dudes that are just standing there, like lining the room all around it, just jerking off, watching me. I'm like, this is so weird. So I could totally, I'm like so proud of you, girl, for actually like doing something at that party, because that sounds like that was like, you just had to get past that point. And then now look at you running with it.
Yeah.
But you said that it was like, you had to be like, you had to go in slowly until you were ready to really jump in. What were your biggest fears about it? Like, other than, okay, this is different from my husband, but I think from what I've heard, a lot of women are hesitant because they're like, hey, what's the catch? Like, you must want some sort of thing out of this that you're not telling me about, or you want to sleep with other women, or this is going to be weaponized at some point down the road. Like, what were your big hangups at that time?
I think I was worried about our relationship falling apart. Truly.
Right.
Because in my whole life, I had said to him, I can't have sex with somebody unless I love them. And I was really promiscuous before I met him. But I convinced myself that I was in love with every single one of them, even if it was for 3 days. But that's why I had sex with them, because I loved them.
Yeah.
And so I was really worried that I was going to fall in love with somebody else. And I've had lots of crushes. And I had a sort of boyfriend for 5 years or so. And now I fully am in it for the enjoyment and the fun. He's the person that I love. And I'm not looking for a boyfriend or anything anymore. And we're so rock solid right now. Like, we're probably better than we've ever been, because we've found the dynamic that truly fits us. And we're super happy.
it's just not the sex now. It's the community that we've found and we've been accepted into. I guess you could say ever since we did our first splash a couple of years ago, and I had to yet again another half a year to convince her to go to Splash. She goes, I can't go to Splash. I don't know anybody there. I'm going to be nervous. It's not our thing. So after I convinced her to go to, I convinced her to go last July, or no, and then last March. We get put into groups. So before you go, just like we did our party, you get a chance to know people and get a chance to talk with them. So even before you did our first Splash, we already felt like we were, accepted, and people knew who we are, and we knew other people. So when we showed up at Splash the first time, Miss the East Coast, Craig, was there, and he accepted us and took us around and introduced us to people. But so it's not just the sex; it's a big part of it. Yes, that's why we're doing it. But at the same time, we found our people. We have found our tribe. We get along with everybody. It's a great, a nice feeling to have, actually.
Hey, did you know that there's a one-of-a-kind matchmaking service for cuckolding and female-led relationships? Venus Connections is a private service for single men and single women who want a loving cuckolding relationship. And now there's a new separate FLR program too. There's no scrolling through profiles or sharing photos with members. It's totally private. And the dates are blind dates too. Included in the program is a 3-week course and an interview with me. So join now at venusconnections.com and use the code TOPTIER2024 for 40% off the top 1% membership. That's venusconnections.com. Make 2024 the year that you get the relationship of your dreams.
Yeah, and I think in this lifestyle is very, very important to be able to find your tribe, right? And I already apologize to you guys privately about this, but when you guys came to Vegas a few years ago, I think it was during the pandemic, like I was just AWOL. I was like, and when he's like, what the fuck is wrong with this motherfucker? Like, how come he's not like meeting up with me? And like I was going through life shit. And then you guys were able to meet up with Craig McKinney, who y'all mentioned, and he basically showed y'all around, and you guys found your tribe at Splash, which is Splash Mocha. For those of you guys, ladies that are listening to this, it is Venus, explain it real quick what Splash Mocha is.
It's heaven.
It's heaven.
It's
heaven. There's angels and harps playing and
dicks everywhere.
It's heaven for your pussy. Yeah. And it's amazing. It's a hotel takeover event. They have them all over the place in the US, but I've only been to the one in Houston for the last couple of years. I'll be there again in November. And yeah, it's a hotel takeover event. It's run really well. And it is like heaven. There's just Black men everywhere. And I'm just like, oh, this is where I belong.
Yeah.
So tell us, Venus, like my eyes keep on drifting to your shirts, and I promise you I'm not looking at your voluptuous boobs.
Yeah, you are.
You got me. Yeah, I am. Okay, what does your shirt say?
It says, be the porn star you want to see in the world. And this is a top that I got from Afterglow. I don't know if you've heard about it, but Afterglow is like such an amazing company. It's ethical porn mainly produced by women, and it's made for everyone. It's totally unique. It's so fucking cool.
Oh,
yeah, exoafterglow.com. So they sent me this top, and I was like, fuck yes, I want one of those.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that.
Right?
Yeah.
And I personally believe, just segueing real quick, I believe more porn should be produced and filmed by women.
Oh my God. Have you checked out Afterglow yet? My God. One of my favorite videos that's on there is, these are usually real couples, and like it's a sensual erotic massage video, of course. And I was just like, fuck yes. I was like, this is so hot. Like I loved it so much. And I was like, okay, this is different kind of porn. Yeah. Like it is so different. I really, really like it.
All right. So, what question do you have for our lovely couple, Miss Venus?
All right, I want to get down to it, okay? I want to know what was it that inspired this trip, this vow renewal trip? Because, like, I'm telling you, I had every fucking person on planet Earth was like, "Where are you going? What are you doing? What's this thing you're going to?" And I'm like, you'll find out, I guess, eventually. But like, it's top secret, and I got an invitation, so fuck off.
Yeah, there you go.
Our road trip. Yeah. So that's yet again, we do everything together. So we can sit in a truck for 2 weeks and not kill each other in a small camper. We thought we'd go back to Vegas because we love going to Vegas. And
it was a good central, it was a central place because all of our friends live all over the United States
and Canada.
And so it was an easy place for people to get to. So we sort of put it out in one of the groups that we're in that's primarily cuckold couples and said, look, we're having a party. We're renting a house. We're looking for, up to 4 or 5 couples. And then I was looking for between 8 and 10 Black gentlemen to join us. And it all came together. I can't believe it. I still can't believe it all came together and was as awesome as it was.
We love hosting too. So
but it was like, what are we going to do for our 30th?
Yeah.
And well, there wasn't anybody here that we wanted to hang out with because we wanted it to be something that was really us. And doing it in Vegas at this house with everybody standing around us naked watching, that was really us and who we are now. So I even had my veil from when I got married 30 years ago.
Awesome.
My headpiece, it's all yellow, like the flowers were all yellowed on it and stuff, but it was fine. And I bought this lace thing and you wore my hat and stuff. But yeah, we stood and Craig McKinney officiated for us. And, it was really, really, it was really nice. We haven't released the video of our vow renewal because that's just for us, but I have released other videos and pictures and things like that. So,
and I guess what inspired us was we've seen things online on X.
Well, I would
Twitter.
say Venus may have inspired us.
Yes, partially.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah. Listening. Yeah. Okay, so yours was like the first podcast we listened to about cuckolding, and it was your top 10 things how to cuckold him, and then it was what you want to do if you got married again, how you want your wedding night to go. And always in my back of my head, I'm like, that's so fucking hot.
And we're already married for 30 years, so why should it be just only the newlyweds that get a chance to do something like this?
Right?
Why can't people who have been married for 30 years who love each other and have a relationship already, why can't we jump in on it and have some fun doing the same thing?
So we did.
So we just renewed our vows, and there's some tears to be shed.
Oh, everybody was crying. Craig was crying. I was crying. Judd was crying. Half of our guests were crying.
Yeah.
And we all had champagne afterwards. And then I dropped to my knees and started sucking dick.
and then right into the room, right into our bed.
Yeah, and then somebody took me into our bedroom, fucked me, and then that was it. Like the whole, you guys were there. So, yeah.
Wow.
But it started, you missed the Thursday night was a little bit crazy, fun, exciting. We decided the other 3 couples that flew in from Pennsylvania, Texas, and drove up from California, we all met at a very nice, fancy restaurant with unlimited wine. Free wine.
Not that fancy if it's unlimited wine.
I know. So there were blowjobs in the car
on the strip, along the strip on the way to the hotel, and then it was 4 cuckoldress women piled on top of poor Craig, and he was a trooper. Poor Craig buried under 4 women, and it's really cool because there's all these the 4 cuck husbands all caged. They're all wearing their cock cages and they're all just like, this is so fucking hot. This is so awesome. We've never been in a situation like this.
We felt comfortable.
And that's what we heard all weekend was just like, oh my God, never have we been in a situation where we could truly be ourselves for solid 48 hours. Nobody left.
Nobody put their clothes on.
Nobody put their clothes on for 2 days.
Yeah.
And it was just fantastic.
That's the feeling I got when we got there on Saturday. I was like, I don't think anybody's had clothes on or
no.
Felt like you guys are doing the same thing for days. And I was like, they are. And I expected it to be kind of a more docile night because of that. but it wasn't at all. It was amazing. But so you hadn't even done that kind of situation in Canada.
No, well, we used to throw swinger parties.
Yeah, we had swinger parties here at our house on the island.
Yeah, we've had like 18 people in our hot tub and 12
people on top of the on the king size bed. We had a big grotto shower downstairs and 3-4 people in that. A pool table.
We had a glory hole.
We had our own glory hole. So we like hosting parties and
nothing like cuck only party.
No, this was the first.
The first real cuck,
and not the last.
Yeah, I hope not.
We're doing this again.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get an invite. That was so fun.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a blast, and I was following all the festivities on the Telegram group, and I was jealous. I was like, oh my god, I'm missing. I was getting FOMO and shit. And so we came on Saturday nights, and it was a fucking blast.
Yeah.
Like there was just drinks and naked bodies and like women that just wanted black dick. And like, yeah, tell us about what are you over there doing your hands like that for, Miss Venus?
You say that women that just want black dick. I mean, yes, that was us. Guilty.
Just salivating at the mouth. And it was like wonderful. So it seemed like on Saturday, that's when like things started like escalating. Like, tell us more about Saturday.
Saturday, the vow renewal happened at about 4.
Yeah, 4.
And I mean, we were all just hanging out and having drinks and stuff, and people were fucking if they wanted to, kind of thing. And then we paused for half an hour to do the vow renewal, and then we just all started fucking again. And then we paused.
We did a big dinner.
We hosted a big dinner, barbecue and stuff. And I had all the cuck husbands like doing all the barbecuing, and they cleaned up. Like they were in their cuck hold like heaven. They were at service, and they were getting drinks for the guys. Like anybody want anything? They were so attentive. They cleaned the whole place up. It was great. And their wives and myself, we were, we could just sit back and enjoy lay back and enjoy.
I love it.
Yeah.
And Venus, you came with a special cuck to Vegas, right?
Yes. I'm actually going to be interviewing him for a bonus episode that's going to be coming up. But yes, I brought my cuck friend Grunky. And he's been on my show before as a guest. So yes, some of you may have heard his name before. But so he came with me and we spent the weekend together, and it was so fun. Like it was really, really fun. I don't think he knew what to expect because he's never been to anything like that before. But he's done his thing is he does like pro dom cuckolding sessions and stuff throughout the year with different women. So like he's done that aspect of stuff, but like this was totally different. So as we were walking in, we got there late Friday night, and we were just gonna come in and say hi and everything like that. As we were walking up to the door, I don't remember what the conversation was with all of us, but I was like, I'm kind of pretty sure that everybody's gonna be naked, because like I saw the pictures in the group chat. There was nothing but titties and dicks flying. Like it was just nothing but nakedness. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure these guys are like nudists. So I'm pretty sure that everybody's gonna be naked. We walk in, sure enough, everybody's naked. I was like,
welcome to my world.
Wendy's usually the first one naked wherever we go. She'll get the party started wherever. And she did. And we were all naked.
Yeah, I was like, I am so overdressed here. But it was really fun. And it did have, when we got there on Friday, I felt the vibe was like, I felt like you guys had been fucking already for like 24 hours straight. But when we got there Saturday, that was really fun. Because that was like, I don't know, it did feel like maybe just because we were there for more of the time, and we were there to party. But yeah, it was such a cool vibe. Like, I think Craig was like flogging somebody or something like that. And just like what I thought was really interesting was like all the cucks there in naked and walking around in chastity. And all the bulls pretty much were just walking around naked too. And I was just like, This is so cool. I mean, it's for a woman doesn't feel weird for me at all, especially if I've been in like the swinger stuff and whatever. But like, I think that was such an awesome opportunity for the guys to be able to be themselves, their genuine selves, cucky selves, in front of other guys, not just other cucks, but even in front of bulls too. And like, when does that ever fucking happen? Well, when are you able to be just authentically you in front of a bunch of other dudes? Like, that is such a cool experience. And that's what I loved the most out of that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it was a little bit different. When you go to Splash, you don't have that sort of small house party vibe. There's too many people. You can't walk around the cock cage. I guess you can if you're at the right splash in the pool deck, but it's still sort of not really, it's accepted.
You get a couple looks.
You get some looks.
Yeah.
This party was different. It's like, I'm from back east. We love house parties, love kitchen parties. So to have a small group of people, like 18 or 20 people in a house together, hanging out, being comfortable, doing what they wanted and what they felt comfortable doing was a nice feeling. It's
and like we'd all met online before,
so everybody,
and we knew one of the couples very well. They're good friends of ours. Another couple we'd met at a splash, but the other couple we hadn't actually met in person yet. And it was amazing to me that everybody, like, because we're in Canada, we can't e-transfer money, so I trusted that all these people were going to show up and kick in, and they trusted that we had actually booked a place and we're actually having a party and not just pulling their leg. And we all came together, and it was just like instant, like instant best friends. Everybody got along. There was no pettiness. There was no arguing. The women all like sisters, the guys like brothers, and I think Saturday night I had all three of the other cuck husbands come up to me and give me a huge hug and just like tears in their eyes. Thank you so much for this. Like 48 hours of being my true self, living out my cuck life with my wife by my side, watching her be so happy, so relaxed, and so free. Oh my God. It was the compersion for me was like, I love it. I love to make other people happy. And yeah, I will be doing more parties like that.
Maybe closer to home.
If
we can find the guys.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And Charlie, tell us about, there's a certain gentleman that you played with that had a big ass forearm for a dick. And Venus was playing with his forearm. But I want you, Charlie, first tell us about your experience.
Okay.
And then Venus, you can chime in if you want to as well.
Okay. So I came with you, and I was not expecting, I was like going for the social aspect of it. I was interested in the situation. I'm always like anything lifestyle, anything kink, I want to know. And I was not planning on playing at all. I was going to be just like a observer and just have fun. And the fellow that you were talking about, after you and Venus went in to start your massage, he came over and was like, everybody's playing, everybody's, open, you can play too. And I'm like, I don't want to take any guys, the women are, this is their thing. And he's like, no, everybody can play. And I was like, all right, let's fucking do this. So we went in the bedroom and we were in the corner, while you and Venus were on the bed. He and I were on a chair. We started on a chair anyway.
They started on a chair. They didn't end there.
Yeah. And he's very, very well endowed. Like,
he got a big ass dick.
He does. Like,
you're welcome.
It was very, I mean,
what are you talking about?
Stellar. Yes. We are still in contact. It was like, please give me your number.
She's like, I'm going to Canada.
Yeah. I was like, Canada sounds like but yeah, and so I was just like, okay, let's do this. And I like being naked too, so I'm just like clothes off, and dick in mouth, and like, I mean, barely even half, and I have a huge mouth, and so I was just like, wow. So yeah, but it was really cool because we got to play while you guys were doing your thing on the bed, and Grunk was in the corner, and people were coming in and out, and watching for a little bit, and it was very cool. It was really a lot of fun, and then we took a break, and I went out and played with Craig a little, and then some of the husbands came out to get Craig, and I was like, oh, take him, I'm not gonna monopolize. And they were like, well, do you like ladies? And I was like, well, I do. And so there were some women that were bi-curious, and so I was like, fuck yeah. So I got to lend my abilities, I guess, in a way that I was not expecting to do that at the party. Yeah.
What does that mean? Like, what type of abilities did you get to?
My bi abilities.
Your bi abilities.
Yeah, my lady abilities. But yeah, it was amazing. And the guys, I expected them solely to be wanting to see their wives fuck black guys, but they were just as excited to see them with a woman, and them getting to experience this bi-curiousness and there was no bi-curious, by the way. They were all bi. They were totally, they were curious. But yes, and then one of the husbands got to, he participated, and he was
you call him the ass eating god.
He is he's amazing. And I didn't realize that the cucks, their mouths are their tools, apparently. So yeah.
Oh damn! Hey, so right now
use their hands and their tongues.
Hands and tongues.
And he's showing the tongue off. He's like, this tongue is magical.
Yes, I'm a believer now. I'm just like, oh my god. So yes, he ate my ass while I was eating pussy, and he made me come. I made her come. It was just like
one big train.
Yes, it was, and it was, and there were multiple people on the bed. I mean, it was like a big group thing, and it was amazing. It was like one of the best experiences I've had in my 3 years of lifestyle stuff. It was awesome. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yes. I'm just like, please have more parties.
But the good thing was, the thing was for me was, Wendy was playing in a room. There's other people playing in the room that you're in, and you could stand in the kitchen and you could see right straight down the hall to one group of people playing, and then look into the bedroom, or our bedroom, and see another group of people playing. And it was for me, no matter
where you looked, there was just people having fun.
People having fun. You get to stand there and back and forth continuously. I didn't know where to go.
I mean, it was an open door party. Yeah. Like there was nobody going into a room, closing the door so nobody else could come in. No, that's not what it was about. No. And everybody was totally cool with that.
Yeah. And you could feel that energy. Everybody was open. Everybody was welcoming, and nobody was, it was a total, very good vibe.
Miss Venus, I heard that you had the worst sensual massage experience of your life that weekend. The dude a 1-star review on Yelp.
The lies just continue. No, I was, I had such a great sensual massage from Dark Chocolate. This is what I've been looking forward to for so fucking long. And for those of you who are listening who know me, you fucking know I love sensual massage. I'm such a big fan. So this is what I really, really wanted. And so so luckily Doc remembered to bring the coconut oil this time. Yeah. And it was fucking glorious. I had coconut oil all over me. I had the full on body massage, and he takes his time. He really there's no rushing through it. Oh my God, it was so nice. But yeah, Coke can dick guy, he was like, oh fucking hell. So you were talking, Fun Charlie, you were talking about him earlier. I was standing in the kitchen, and this guy, he came up behind me, and he was just like, oh, hey, how's it going? And I was like, what is that poking in net behind me? What is that? Oh my God. And then so I reached back, and I'm like, holy fucking shit, that thing's huge. And I turned around, and I was like, damn, I'm holding it. My hand can't go all the way around it. I'm like, wow. Okay. And I was like, dude, your dick is so heavy.
And straight, and just if you make a cast out of a dick, that would be it.
Again, you're welcome.
I was like, your dick is so heavy. So I said to Grunky, who was naked in chastity, I'm like, Grunky, come over here. We're going to do a comparison right now. So came over and I was like, Grunky was like, this is he told me earlier, I'm going to wear my cage that's extra small. I'm like, okay, thinking it was going to be like really small. I'm like, you have so much room in that little cage. Like, what?
Damn.
You could go for it a teeny weeny, not just an extra small. Anyway, so that was a really great little comparison thing that we did. But then, he really, that guy, Coke can guy, really wanted to like hook up, and I was like, actually, I got a date with Doc Chocolate for a sensual massage, and he's like, well, can I just at least be around? And I was like, of course. No problem. So yeah, when we went to the room, me and Doc went to the room, it was just me and you, and Grunky, of course, right? And
you put him in a cut corner, didn't you? You told him, what did you tell Grunky?
Yeah, I told him to go sit on the floor. And I'm like, lucky fucker's getting the fucking cuck experience, okay? He better not complain. And he did not. No. But yeah, so we walked in there, and within like 5 minutes, there was like, I felt like 17 people in that room.
Yes.
Yeah. And what's funny is, Wendy was in there too. And like usually when I do sensual massages for ladies, so basically what a sensual massage is I have coconut oil. I have nice romantic sensual music playing in the background softly. I have lights going, but I didn't bring my gear with me, and I felt like I failed. I was like, fuck. Because like she pulled me aside. She was like, yeah, Doc, you're giving me a sensual massage. She didn't even ask me. She was like, you're giving it to me.
You're done.
And I was like, okay. It was like pulling teeth.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. But like, so we go in, and I basically start off with a regular massage, and I take my time, as Venus was saying, and then I go into a little bit more erotic, so we're both butt ass naked, and I'm basically working at the top of the shoulders and kissing the neck a little bit and the ears and a little bit and nibbling and all that, and just using my dick as a third hand. And my dick was like half the size as Coke bottle guy, but whatever, I work with what I got. And so I turned it into a body massage where I'm just basically using the weight of my body on the back of the woman, right? And Venus got this ass, y'all, where like many people don't know that she got an ass. You know that, don't you?
And some titties.
And some titties. You got some new titties, and like it's very nice to like lean on, right? So like, how did you like the body to body portion of it?
I love that part. I love it so much. There's something that's what makes it the sensual massage, and not the just like, I'm gonna go get a massage, And then I think it didn't take long before I sat on your face, and so that's what really kicked it off after that.
That's when I came in.
That's
what turned her on was like when I got to her butt, like I started eating her out like from behind, and she was like, yeah, I just want to sit in your face. I think I just want to sit in your face.
and that was great, but like I don't know what was going on. There was somebody got on the bed next to us, and it was bouncing, and I was just like, whoa, what's going on over here?
Wendy and
well, I think there's people fucking on the bed next to us, because like initially it was no, it wasn't you, Charlie, because like you really fucked by Coke bottle guy.
I was,
because like me and Venus were looking over, and like Coke bottle guy was standing up, and he Coke bottle guy was standing up, and he had Charlie lifted up, and he was just railing her, and I was like, God damn, her pussy is gonna be destroyed. She's not gonna have any ovaries, fallopian tubes, nothing. Like I was like, shit, he's hitting and lacerating kidneys and livers and shit. I was like, damn. And then so I was like,
I was not expecting to be able to take that at all.
Hey, you took that dick.
Yeah,
she took that dick, and like. And then later on, a few minutes later, somebody got on the side of us, because it was a big ass bed that we were on in your room, Wendy and Judd. And somebody got on, and it was kind of throwing me off a little bit rhythm, right, Venus? Because like they were like bouncing, and I think they
I
were
was being
fucking.
pounded next to you.
Was that you?
That was me.
It was Wendy.
Sure.
Damn!
Fuck.
It was like
I was watching with my cage and
Because all the other, and some of the other, well, the bi thing wasn't going on. The girls,
no, not yet.
I'm not bi, so I didn't participate in
No,
that.
Wendy's not bi in any way.
I'm all about the dick, right, Doc?
yes, you are. You are all about that dick, and you're gonna get this in Splash Mocha when I see you next time, Miss Wendy Blonde on the Bay.
I need my sensual massage.
I was gonna say she needs her massage too.
We're gonna have Dick in the Bay. That's what it's gonna be. Motherfucking name.
Oh my god.
God damn it. And then what happened was so me and Venus are playing around, and then like I start fucking you like nice and gentle, right? Just like gentle, like, right? And then she tells Grunky to come and like get up all in my balls, like as I'm fucking you. Hey, what did you tell Grunky?
I can't remember exactly, but I think I was on top, and then I turned around and I was like, Grunky, you come over here. You put your face right up here. I want you to look at this.
And I feel the heat on my balls, and I'm like, is he looking at my balls? I was like,
Oh my god. In there.
yeah, he got up in there. Right. And so no, I mean, it was good. It was a fun time. And like you got anything to add? Like, do you give me 1-star review? Because that's what you told me, Venus. You gave me a 1-star review on Yelp. That's what
So many lies. Anyway, 5-star review. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. That's the best advertisement. So you guys, like, we don't want to keep y'all any longer, but I mean, all in all, this party was a fucking blast. All right.
Yes.
And I think like if you can link up with Blonde on the Bay, any party that they do or whatnot, you guys need to if you're in Canada.
One thing that I would like to say before we go, I just want to say a big, huge thank you to both of you guys, Wendy and Judd, for the invitation to your party. And I do think these in-person events are really special opportunities. I talked about it a little bit about earlier about how this is such a unique opportunity for men to be themselves in front of other men. But for couples, and you guys were talking about how important community has become to you. I just would, for anybody listening right now, would love to be able to emphasize that, yes, this lifestyle is so fun when the wife gets to sleep with another guy and the husband is involved in some way and it's a gift you give each other and blah, 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 blah. And that's fucking amazing. A lot of couples just leave it at that. But I'm telling you, you're missing out on the community part. You're missing out on the friendships. You're missing out on the connections and the fun experiences that you can have together as a group, especially these like little parties, because yeah, Splash Mocha is really fun. It is heaven. But it doesn't have the same vibe as these like small parties do. And you'll find that in the swingers community too. The big swingers clubs are fun, but everybody really loves the private swingers parties, right? Yeah. I mean, there's just a different vibe to it. So thank you so much for doing that. And I know, Wendy, that you work towards, making other events and stuff like that. So thank you for the work that you do with that, because it's one thing to really take from the lifestyle like a lot of us do. We take from it and enjoy it and we consume it. But to be able to give back in some ways to have these experiences for other people, I think that's really special. So thank you.
I love it. I love that. I love it.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me today. Make sure you go to venuscuckoldress.com. That's where you can book a private chat with me. You can check out any cuckolding events that might be happening. And you can even ask a question for the show, as well as, of course, join the Queen's Quarters fan club and get all the benefits for that. You can also follow me on Instagram, the Venus Cuckoldress Podcast. I haven't been banned there. Well, I have, but not recently. You can also follow me on Twitter or whatever the fuck you want to call it. My handle is @CuckoldressV. That's it for today. We'll see you next time. Can you believe it's been 4 years since I first started this podcast. And looking back, I had no idea that this would be my full-time job. I love the work that I do. And it's because of you, the listeners, and your support that I'm able to do this. So right now, if you join the Helpful Cuck tier, you get tons of benefits. My favorite ones are the private one-to-one chat every month. You also get access to my private Snapchat group, weekly live hangouts with me on Crowdcast. I love those. And you get juicy bonus episodes. There's key holding. There's video replays of the Pillow Talk events. And there's also access to my private community on the Moan app. So join right now. You can use the promo code CUCKLOVE2024 for 15% off your Helpful Cuck membership at venuscuckoldress.com.